All right, this is about the fourth time I'm trying to record this video, so I hope it goes through this time. I want to talk about corrections for the skills test on perimeter and area of polygons and on circumference and area of circles. First of all, the main question that people email me about, very few people email me any questions, but the main one was about problem number 13. And problem number 13 wasn't your mistake, it was my mistake. On problem 13, I was supposed to type in 20 inches, but I hit the wrong number, and instead of 20 inches, I hit the 9 instead of the 0 and came out to 29 inches. So I apologize to anyone who was confused with problem number 13. I actually know how to find perimeter of a rectangle, I just hit the wrong number. By the way, the rectangle looked like this. It was 7 inches long and 3 inches wide. The formula for perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the sum of the length and the width. The length was 7 inches and the width was 3 inches. So when you add that, 7 plus 3 is 10 inches, and 2 times 10 is 20 inches. So if you got 20 inches and you looked at the answer key and you couldn't figure out how I got 29 inches, it's because I hit the wrong number in. But 20 inches is the correct answer. By the way, the main reason that people had trouble or got low grades on this skills test was because they gave me naked numbers. And what are naked numbers? Naked numbers are numbers that don't have a unit of measurement on them. Or maybe you gave me a unit of measurement, the wrong unit of measurement. Anytime you didn't put a unit of measurement or you gave me the wrong unit of measurement, you got a 1 point off. So if someone got every single answer right and wound up with a 76 because there were 24 problems, they didn't put a single unit of measurement on, so they got 24 points off. And the answer came out to be a 76. So make sure you put the unit of measurement. By the way, also make sure you remember area is a square measurement, perimeter is a straight measurement. So if you have perimeter, you put inches, centimeters, feet. If you have area, you put square inches, square centimeters, square feet. Now, the next problem that someone asked about was problem number 5. It was a parallelogram. It had a length of 8 feet and a width of 5 feet, and it had an imaginary height of 4 feet. And they asked what was the perimeter. And the perimeter of a parallelogram is side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. And again, the dotted 4 here is not one of the sides. It's imaginary, that's why it's dotted, and you don't count it for a perimeter. So side 1 was 8 feet, or if you wanted, you could have made side 1 5 feet, that doesn't matter. But if side 1 is 8 feet, side 2 would be 5 feet. And you say, but you didn't give me the other 2 measurements. Well, remember, opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So if this was 8 feet, this one's 8 feet. If this one's 5 feet, this one's 5 feet. So as I continue here, I should be writing every formula, replacing the variable with its value, and then getting the answer. By the way, you're only giving me the answers on Google Classroom, but you better be doing the work on your paper, because when you come back from the holidays, I'll be checking that. Anyway, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, 21 plus 5 is 26 feet. And again, notice it's perimeter, so it's a straight measurement. And the answer is 26 feet. The person who asked this didn't ask about area, but I'll tell you anyway. Area is base times height. The base is the bottom that it's sitting on is 8 feet, and the height is from the top straight down, which is 4 feet. And 8 times 4 is 32, and the answer is 32 square feet. You could put feet squared if you know how to get the little exponent symbol up there, okay? Or you can just put SQFT. Now, the next problem someone asked about was problem number 17. And 17 was a obtuse triangle, All right, and again, the sides were 6 yards, 13 yards, and 7 yards. By the way, they also had the imaginary height out here, which was 3 yards. And I have a feeling for some of you, this threw you off. But these are the sides you use for perimeter. And perimeter of a triangle is side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. So side 1 could be 13 yards, plus side 2 could be 7 yards, plus side 3 could be 6 yards. Again, whichever one you call side 1, 2, and 3 is up to you, but you must use these 3 measurements. 13 plus 7 is 20, plus 6 is 26 yards. And that was the perimeter. Again, no one asked for the area of this one, but the area of a triangle is equal to base times height divided by 2. On the formula sheet I gave you, it says 1/2 times base times height, but that's the same thing, because to multiply by 1/2 and to divide by 2 are the same thing. So anyway, the base here would be the bottom, which is 6 yards, and the height would be the imaginary dotted line, which is 3 yards. And then order of operation would be multiply before you do fractional division. 6 times 3 is 18. Yards times yard is square yards over 2, and that comes out to equal 9 square yards. And again, that was another one that was asked. By the way, the same person who asked 5 asked about 15. But 15 was the exact same kind of problem as 5. It was the perimeter of the parallelogram. So I'm hoping after you saw problem number 5, you could be able to do 15, but real quickly, because it seems like it's working right now. The length was 4 meters, the width was 5 meters, and the height was 3 meters. And again, perimeter of a parallelogram would be S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4. I only gave you 2 sides, but because opposite sides are congruent, if this is 4 meters, this is 4 meters. If this is 5 meters, this is 5 meters. So it comes out to be 4 meters plus 5 meters plus 4 meters plus 5 meters. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 5 is 18 meters. And again, that would be the perimeter. That was the only ones that people asked about. But since the video seems to be working this time, I'll go to some that you didn't ask about, but I thought a lot of people got wrong, like the area of a trapezoid. And again, if you were to look at your page at problem number 20, you had this trapezoid. It had 4 feet at the top and 7 feet at the bottom and 6 feet on each end. Okay, by the way, the top and the bottom are called the bases and the sides are called the legs. So the area of a trapezoid is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2, or it could be 1/2 the sum of base 1 and base 2 times the height. Base 1 and base 2 are the 2 parallel lines, the top and the bottom. That would be 7 feet plus 4 feet. And the height is the imaginary dotted line, which in this case was 3 feet. And again, if you replace the variables with their value, then use the order of operation, do parentheses first. 7 plus 4 is equal to 11 feet times 3 feet divided by 2. 11 times 3 is 33 divided by 2. And then you would have to divide by 2 into 33. Okay, and it would go 1 time remainder 1, and then it would go 6 times remainder 1, and your answer would be 16 and a half, and that would be 16 and 1/2 feet squared, or 16 and 1/2 square feet. Okay, To be honest with you, I don't remember that being the answer, but I guess it was the right answer on the answer key, because that's definitely the right work for it. And the other one I thought people had trouble with were the circles. So on the circles, no one asked it, but I'm going to do it anyway. On 21 and 22, I gave you a circle, and I gave you the radius was 9 inches. And I asked you for the circumference, which is pi times diameter. Pi is 3 14/100. The diameter is all the way across. I didn't give you all the way across. I only gave you halfway across, because radius is from the middle out. So if that's 9, then this is 9, which makes the diameter 18 inches. And if you multiply 3 14/100 times 18, by the way, you don't have to multiply, because I told you you can use your calculator to do the computation, but I do have to multiply because I don't have a calculator here, and my answer is 56 52/100 inches. And circumference is a straight measurement around the outside, and that is approximately your answer, because pi is approximately 3 14/100. And then on the same one, if I wanted the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared. Again, pi was 3 14/100. Always we use 3 14/100 for pi, and the radius is going to be 9 inches, which I have to square. Order of operation, do exponents first. 9 squared is 81. Inches squared is inches squared. And I have to multiply 81 times 3 14/100. And again, that's where having a calculator will come in big handy. By the way, when we do get back to school, you will be allowed to use your calculator to find area and perimeter. Okay, so you might want to make sure you have a calculator. Okay, and again, when you multiply, you get 254 3/4 square inches, or inches squared. And even though it's a round figure, the area comes out to be a squared measurement. So those are ones that people had trouble with, that emailed me, or that I saw you had trouble with. If you had trouble with one and you didn't email me and you want to know how to do it, if you send me an email, I'll send you back a written explanation of how to do it. But those are the ones that we needed to do.